Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Julie, and this video is going to be yet another one part of my No Buy Year series. And so today I thought I would talk about some of the products that I have repurchased numerous times over the years. So unlike the majority of my beauty collection, which I never hit pan on, never worked my way through on, and really never have been able to use up, nor do I foresee using up. These are products that I've worked my way through and then love them enough to go ahead and repurchase them. So these are some of the things in my collection just to remind myself that I really, really love. So without further ado, I will go ahead and get started. So the first product that I'm going to start with is the Tata Harper Purifying Cleanser, and this I've probably purchased, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times. It's increased in price significantly since the very first time I purchased it, which does sort of annoy me. And I'm not sure if I would repurchase it again, so simply because I've come to the realization that spending so much money on a cleanser that's only on your skin for a few minutes isn't really where you're going to get your bang for your buck in terms of skincare. So I want to use up all the cleansers that I have, including this one, and then slowly wean myself onto maybe something less expensive while I still have my active ingredients, my more high-end serums and things like that. But in terms of a cleanser, one thing that I have noticed is that they seem to have redone the pump. It's a different sort of pump mechanism, because that was always a problem with the past one. It would kind of get blocked, and then all of a sudden a ton of product would shoot out. And for a, I think, $72 cleanser, it's a bit ridiculous. But this is a really effective cleanser, I find, in terms of purifying the skin without leaving it feeling stripped or dehydrated, or, you know, giving you that sort of like uncomfortable, squeaky, tight feeling. So I really, really love this one, and I have used it, as I said, for many, many years. So I would recommend it, but I think just in terms of where I'm starting to focus my skincare on, it's maybe not cleansers. But if you are looking for a sort of clean, organic skincare brand, I really recommend Tata Harper, and this cleanser in particular. I've also repurchased the NYX Rêve de Miel lip balm many, many times. This is probably maybe my third or fourth container. So I don't know if you'll be able to see that really, but it's totally used up down to like the bare minimum in the pot. And this is a product, I think NYX is not sold in stores in the US anymore, but I think you can find online. I'll try to provide some links below. In Europe, it's much more easily found. It's at normal pharmacies. And the reason I love this lip balm is it's quite thick and it really stays on your lips. So I wear this as my overnight like lip balm treatment. This is actually one of the items that I'm going to allow myself to repurchase even if I haven't used up the rest of my lip balms, simply because unlike most other lip balms that are like that thinner consistency, they kind of wear off in your sleep. I will put this on at night and it's still on when I wake up in the morning. My lips feel great. They feel super hydrated. You can put on a really thin layer if you have a more drying lipstick formula that you want to put on, because it doesn't have too much slip to it. So that's why I really like this one. And I think it's, you know, somewhere around 18 euros, $18, something like that. So it's not too expensive. It's not as expensive as like the $60 La Mer lip balm, and I much prefer this one. The first of my makeup items that I want to talk about repurchasing is the Maybelline The Colossal Volume Express Cat Eyes Waterproof. So it's got this sort of like cat print at the top. I've never heard a single person talk about this mascara. I really love it. The wand, if you can see sort of, that's probably not going to focus, but it's quite thin, it's curved, and this is great for holding and curl to the lashes. So I have quite hooded eyes, so I really want my lashes to look as open as possible, and I find that this does a great job, doesn't flake. It is waterproof formula, so you do have to sort of use either an oil cleanser or one of those biphase eye makeup remover cleansers. But I've repurchased this countless times. I always have a tube. I always have a couple of backups because I'm worried that they're going to discontinue it because it's not that popular. But this is one that I really, really enjoy and would recommend, particularly those who want a nice curl in their lashes. I have repurchased countless times the Shiseido facial cottons, and this is one of their bags, and this has 165 cottons in it. And it used to retail for $10. It has gone up to $12, I think about a year ago. And let me grab one of the squares out just to give you a look at what the size is. So it's about a palm, but it's really great for you know, whatever you might need in terms of eye makeup remover. I use it for both eye makeup remover and toner. I don't use it for things like removing nail polish because I just use a cheaper cotton round for that, usually one that has sort of an abrasive side because both sides of this are quite smooth. It is more expensive, but also you typically get about twice as much in a pack like this. So unlike at a drugstore where you maybe pay $4 for a pack of about 80 cotton rounds, this is going to give you 165 for $12. And of course, I always stock up when there's a 20% off sale at Sephora or Ulta because they are now carried at Ulta. So I think in terms of the cost, it's pretty good. It's much better than it seems maybe at first glance. And it doesn't pill, it doesn't leave any fluff on your face, so that's why I really, really love this. I just think once you go to this, then you realize that the others are just a bit annoying because you always have like the fluffy residue on your face and it just gets a bit annoying after a while. So for me, these are actually really worth it. The next item I want to talk about is the Serum Releve Eyelash Curler. And it might be a little bit odd to talk about repurchasing an eyelash curler, but, you know, after a couple of years of daily use, and I do use mine every time I wear mascara, they probably are, you know, it is time to buy a new one simply because, like, the spring mechanism becomes less, I guess, loaded, and so they don't curl as well, even if you change out the pads, which these do come with replacement pads, and now I think you can even purchase those separately. But in any case, I have, over the years, backed this up. I think I have 2 backups in my collection, and this is the second one I ever bought. If you have an eye shape like mine, I have very hooded eyes, I have pretty small eyes, they're not super curved. This fits my eye shape better than any other one I've ever tried. It doesn't pinch, it doesn't pull out my lashes, it's so comfortable, so easy to use. So I really recommend to everybody to try out the Serum. I really, really think it's fantastic. Switching back to skincare is a cult classic, the Sunday Riley Good Genes. And even with all of the drama that's happened this year with Sunday Riley, I'm going to continue to always buy Good Genes. It's my holy grail face serum. Right now I'm using the Tata Harper, I think the resurfacing serum, and I like it, but I notice such a difference with this one to the point that I always buy the larger size just because it's a slightly better deal per milliliter per fluid ounce. It has a pretty strong smell. It's an all natural smell. There's not added fragrance as far as I'm aware, but it's just that sort of like lactic acid type scent. Some people say it smells like fish. I don't get that at all. To me, it just has sort of a citrusy type acid smell, but I use this daily. My skin needs a lot of exfoliation, and so to me it's worth using this every single day. If your skin is more sensitive, perhaps start out with less frequent application or only at night, but for me this makes such a big difference in terms of the texture of my skin, just really keeping it clear of like those tiny little bumps that you get if your pores are clogged, and I can use it daily and it just gives me that glow, that smooth skin, and really, really great, and I will never be without this. And probably won't stray from it again with trying out another exfoliating serum. I also have the NARS tinted, this is the tinted one, but the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. So it comes with a doe foot applicator, which, let's see, looks like this. And this is a tinted one. This is in the shade Light. Historically, they didn't have any tinted shades, so I just used the normal one. But this, to me, is the best eyeshadow base, bar none, for adding longevity to your shadows. I have quite oily lids, I have hooded lids, so I always wear a primer, and I've used the Urban Decay Primer Potion over the years. I've used this, I've used the Lorac, I've used ones by Too Faced, ones by Luna Nastur, and this for me just has the best wear time, and a tube of this lasts me ages. Like I could use like 1 per year. They really, really last, and so I've repurchased it many, many times, and I'm sure I will always continue to repurchase it. Next, I have the Glossier Boy Brow, and I have the shade Black. So even though you can see I don't have black hair, but I do have quite dark and cool eyebrow hair. So this has a super itty bitty brush, which is really fantastic. That's exactly what you want for an eyebrow product. It really does have pretty good hold. It's not completely a stiff hold, but it does give you pretty good hold. Really fluffs out the eyebrows. I've repurchased this maybe 5 or 6 times, and although I do try out other eyebrow combinations, like right now I have the Benefit Gimme Brow, I always really love this one. The one thing that I will say is it does tend to release a lot of product on the brush. So what I usually do when I pull it out is like I run it along the edge so I don't go like super, super crazy into my brows. And if I still do end up with a little bit too much on my brow and it gives it too much of a heavy look, I'll just take a Q-tip or a cotton bud and run it through my eyebrows to kind of pick up some of that excess product. But I really, really love this one. It's just, they have a good shade range. It's great. And that it gives you some hold but not super stiff or crusty. It doesn't flake. I've never had any issues. And a tube of this lasts me, again, a really long time without drying out. A body care product that I want to highlight, it's by the brand, sorry, it's a Swedish brand, so if anybody Swedish ever happens to watch this, I'm sorry. Barningen, but it's a brand from Stockholm apparently, and this is their All Over Rescue Body Balm. I bought this at a DM, which is a European drugstore chain, and I'm not sure if you can get this in the States. Probably at some online retailers you can. I'll try to find it and see if I can link it below. But it's just sort of a white lotion. Like, it smells sort of like your general like Nivea, just say like non-offensive body balm. It doesn't have any specific scent. It just sort of smells clean and spa-like. But this is the best body lotion I've ever had for if you have like itchy, dry, or irritated skin anywhere in your body. This is instantly soothing to it. I don't know how it does it. It sinks into the skin ultra fast. It doesn't leave you feeling any extra residue. It doesn't leave you feeling sticky. It just melts into your skin. And for me, I have really dry skin on my legs. Plus, I have like restless leg syndrome, so my legs are always like twitchy and uncomfortable. And this just really, I find to be super calming. So I'll throw this on before I go to bed at night. And it's just it's a miracle worker of a product, and it is so inexpensive. I'll check the price, but I want to say it's something like €4 for this entire tub, which is, in terms of size, it is 200 milliliters. So it's a pretty big tub. I will do the conversion and see what that would be in ounces for the North American crowd. But really, really great product. And I also do really love the smell. It doesn't compete with any other scents that you might be wearing, so another really good option. And the last product that I have is another cult favorite. It is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. And over the years, I've repurchased this maybe like 4 or 5 times, and I have changed shades throughout the years. I currently am in shade number 5. I don't think they ever redid the shade line. I think I just maybe was wearing shades before that were a bit too pale or a bit too fair for my skin tone. So I'm up to 5, which is still a pretty light color. As you can see, I'm still a very fair person. It comes with, for those who are wondering, it comes with a pump. Let's see if I can do a little squirt. It's a really standard foundation formula. It's not too thick. It's definitely not too runny, so it's not one of these like water-based foundations, nor is it more of a cream. It's just super innocuous. I like to put it on with an artiste brush, but you could also go in with a beauty blender, with a paddle brush, with a sort of flat top kabuki like the Sigma F80, which is what I used to apply it for many years. But it gives you just a really, really beautiful but perfected and yet luminous finish. So it's definitely not matte. I would definitely say it's not dewy. It's probably somewhere right in the middle out of satin. To me, it gives a definite medium to full coverage. So I don't wear it as frequently anymore because I do know that my skin sort of has improved a bit as I've aged and figured out my skincare routine. I don't like to wear something that has as much coverage as that on a day-to-day basis. But for any sort of special events or any time I would be photographed, anything like that, it's the go-to foundation that I rely on. It's really, really beautiful. I think the shade range is a bit tricky, especially because I don't really understand the logic of how they number their different shades. But it's a version, it's a foundation that people love for a reason. Everybody's always talking about it, and that's because it really just gives such a beautiful finish that I think suits a lot of skin types and is really, really beautiful for any sort of special occasions or photography. So those are the products that I have repurchased the most out of my entire collection. Obviously ones like blushes and eyeshadows and lipsticks, I rarely, if ever, use one up. But these are products that I actually work my way through pretty consistently and therefore have a need to repurchase. So I wanted to share this with you just to sort of lead you to my most tried and true products. And thanks again for watching, and hope to see you in the next one. Thanks again. Bye-bye.